The National Human Rights Commission has organized a review forum in furtherance of a 2022 general election, mobilizing voters for election to throw more light on the nature of complaints received by the Human Rights Situation Room with regard to the presidential election. The Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission, Chief Tony Ojukwu, said the intervention of the Human Rights Commission aided transparency for the enthronement of freedom of expression.
The National Human Rights Commission and all Nigerians have been committed to this election. For the Commission, we see it as a right-based issue. It's a human rights issue. We want to see the elections from the human rights perspective. Whereas politicians see it as politics, we all treat, from this commission, we treat the issue of elections as a right, because you know, all people of adult suffrage have a right to vote and be voted for. And since all rights are interconnected, they are related, and are equal, we see the right connected to the right to freedom of expression. And by those activities, the Commission, in collaboration with LEDAP and Ford Foundation, have brought it to the fore that the issues about the elections are really about human rights. So when you disenfranchise people, for instance, you are denying them a right.
The Executive Secretary noted the role played by security agencies in securing the lives of the people, especially in areas where violence could have been heightened.
The security agencies did fairly well. The report from our human rights monitors in the field confirmed that the security agencies did their best. The numbers were overwhelming, but generally, except in 2 or 3 states where the elections recorded some violence, you would generally say that in most of the places, Nigerians trooped out in their large numbers and participated in the elections happily, and they insisted their votes must count.
Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Awul Ibrahim Musa, insisted the need for transparency of the INEC as the right to vote is central to the entrenchment of rights of every citizen.
What gave Nigerians confidence that this election, 2023 election, will not be as business as usual was introduction of the Beavers app and ability of the Beavers to upload results directly from polling units into the INEC portal. Because in the past, transporting the papers from the polling units to registration area collation centers and from there to state collection centers has been the main problem, because it's at that transit that the election results are always altered. But if they were collected and uploaded from polling unit in the presence of all the voters, that was the only reassurance Nigerians had that this 2023 election was not going to be business as usual. And that was what gave confidence, especially to young voters, to come out to vote. Now, having done that, will the hopes of these Nigerians be dashed? The question is, no, we don't expect that, because INEC failed to upload those results.
The National Coordinator, Legal Defense and Assistance Project, Chief Chinoye Obiago, said the commercialization of political parties breached transparency, while charging Nigerians to continue to demand for accountability and expression of interests.
A lot of issues are happening, and not many people are taking attention or giving attention to those gross violent violations in our electoral process. So the Transition Monitoring Group began its observation with the party primaries, where we saw obvious abuses of the rights of the party members due to absence of internal democracy in many of the political parties. Commercialization and privatization of the political party candidature or aspirants to even buy or express interest was also a major attempt to deny members from participating in the electoral process in the country. We have seen open abuse of every standard criteria in the electoral process that will guarantee the right of the party members to participate at various party primaries in this country. So therefore it is important to see that a government agency with the civil society working together to document those infractions and see how those problems can further be addressed.
Norma Omeje,